Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and I'm a second grade teacher in Utah, and this will be the start of my classroom setup series. I'm back in the school for the first time this entire summer and I haven't even opened the door yet, but I'm about to walk into my classroom and see what it currently looks like, so I thought you might want to see too. Here we go. Well, good news, it looks like things didn't fall off the wall. Those letters are all still up. All those things are still up. It's all still put together. Only two actually, of those letters fell down. Everything looks pretty good. I will say it is super bizarre to be in here right now. Coming back for the first time is really, really weird. And you can see, whoops, I forgot where the light switch is. Got a lot of work to do. So everything's all packed up and needing to be reorganized. Oh, what fun we are going to have over the next couple of weeks. So like I said, I'm a second grade teacher in Utah. I'm also going to set my stuff down because I forgot how heavy my teacher bag is. And this will be my third year teaching second grade. I got to do an internship program, so I've only been graduated for 2 years, but 3 years of teaching second grade. And I'm in the same school as last year, so as you saw from my just walking around really fast, I don't have a ton of resetting up to do, but there are several things I'm going to change. So there will still be plenty of work. I also have 3 more students at least than I did last year, so I'm going to have to change the layout of the desks and just some other things like that. So don't worry, there will be plenty for me to do. So today and tomorrow I have collaboration with my team. And then after that, I'll be coming in pretty regularly to do some setup, and you will get to see everything that happens. So if that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because as you know, if you're a teacher, classroom setup happens over a span of... Hit the subscribe button because I'll be posting videos as they happen rather than on a schedule. So if you want to stay on top of all of the parts of the classroom setup, then don't forget to hit subscribe. Hello and welcome to Classroom Setup, Official Setup, Day 1. We are back in my classroom. I have friends and family here with me doing other things. Today's goal is to unpack the back room so I can figure out what I need to buy so I don't buy things I don't need. So let me show you really fast what the plan is for today and then we'll get working. As a side note, it's about 70 million degrees in here. So the plan today is to take everything that I have in an assorted amount of bins and put them in stacks or in the bins that they're supposed to be in. So like right now we're switching out these books from the bins I had them in to the ones I actually want them in, and making piles of everything that was on this back shelf so I know what bins I need to purchase. At the end of last year, I was thinking about getting rid of one of the bookshelves back here, so we're also potentially trying to do that, but I still have an extra one if I need to just swap this one out so the two match. So that's definitely a possibility. And then depending on how long that takes, we may try and unpack some of the rest of the classroom. There's just so many things to do, so you just have to pick somewhere to start. So, update, I got everything moved into the baskets and bins that I'm going to keep them in. So this will be my new guided reading shelf, and I can get rid of that bookshelf entirely. Which the reason why I want to do that, which I did not know at the end of last year, was because then I'll have all this wall space to hang the headphones up, and I can do them on the racks like I tried to do last year, but I got the really cheapo racks and it didn't work. Anyway, so now we can get the nice racks for that, and there's words. This shelf will be entirely guided reading. I don't think I'm going to end up making labels for these baskets because they already have these markers in them, but I do need to make labels for these ones, and I guess if I make labels for these, I ought to do the top ones too. So I need to make labels for everything on the shelf, and then the bottom ones are just extra teacher materials. So the shelf ended up looking kind of crowded because it has a lot of books on it, but I'd almost rather it look a little bit more crowded and then I have more space back here than not. I'm also realizing that at the end of the year I had the kids clean out my math manipulatives and they all got moved all over the place. And there were a couple whose boxes I needed to trade out, so they're the right boxes, as well as some of the stuff up here. So I'm going to try and do that, and then we have to confront this disaster that we made over here. I had an idea the other day, realizing that everything that's on here could possibly fit in the cabinets under the sink, and I have some extra ones over there. So I could possibly empty this whole shelving unit off and take it down so that I just don't have nearly as much stuff back here, which could be nice considering this whole wall over here is just covered in things. I also need to take these out of the wrong baskets and either make stacks or put them in the right ones because I'm getting more of these locker bins from Dollar Tree, so I need to figure out how many more of those I need to buy. So here goes. Okay, if you've ever set up a classroom before or unpacked a classroom before, you know it has to get messy before it gets clean. So we're at the messy stage and it's stressing me out a little bit, but it's okay. So I unpacked everything off this shelf and now I have this pile of bins that I can now use to take everything from this shelf and put into some sort of bin or box to try and fit in these cabinets underneath and potentially get rid of these shelves. If it looks too empty and open, I could always put them back up here. But the nice thing about putting them down in the shelves is that I can just use all my extra bins and it doesn't have to match because I won't see it. And to a lot of people, matching doesn't matter, but because it's going to be a full wall, it's kind of important to me. So I'm going to take everything off of these shelves, make a pile in the middle of the floor, and then put it all in containers and find a spot to put those. Oh my goodness. I have made quite a mess. Now to put that mess in here. Okay, I just actually had a realization. I have 5 more of these bins, and I have only 5 bins that are not in those on this shelf. Actually 6. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't switch them. Basically, I've just realized that I could make that entire shelf match if I switch all those other books to these bins and put my craft supplies in those bins instead. Which actually might be better because those bins have lids. Is it worth the struggle? Alright, I've decided to switch these into the dotted baskets so this whole shelf matches, which means these are all going to have to shift down a row because those baskets are bigger than these ones. And I'm going to have to unpack everything I just put into containers. But then this whole shelf will match, so I guess that's good, right? Here we go. Here, so I need to grab one more basket, but it's better to have them all matching. I need to buy one more basket than to have none of them matching. I broke my fingernail, so that's sad. But now all my arts and crafts stuff is going to be in boxes with lids as well. So I'm going to put lids on those boxes, and then those are all going under here. So this will now be the arts and crafts and extra supplies shelf. So all of this will go in there. So I'm going to put these in those boxes. This was a really cute bookmark craft that I made an instructional video for and was going to have my kids do, and then realized it was too complicated for them. But I already cut up all the paper into individual pieces, so I really just need to throw that away and stop trying to keep it. I put all of this stuff in boxes except for the toilet paper rolls and the plastic bags. I have a bucket for the plastic bags and I need to put the toilet paper rolls in something, but I don't have anything out for those yet. But I'm pretty much done with what I was gonna do back here other than this shelf, and I knew I couldn't finish this today because I need to buy a bunch of bins to do that. So way to go. Good news, we cleared off this entire shelving unit. However, I am realizing after cleaning this off that this is not something I can just take off the walls, so it's very possible I'll just have empty shelves back here for always, unless I can get permission to take them down. But now everything that was on these is put away. So this isn't like a super clean situation, but that's all science and food related stuff. And then this one is all cleaning supplies and then some extra tissues. And then, pardon my heavy breathing, as I mentioned, it's ridiculously hot in here. I have a couple things up here. That was math manipulative boxes, and this is end of the year related stuff, so I don't really need access to that. And then, as I said, I have to get the bins for that still, so that's a disaster. And this has become a craft shelf. So I have all my craft supplies in boxes in here. Now, if I was every teacher ever on YouTube and Instagram, I would make labels for all of that. But honestly, I feel like that's probably a little bit of a waste of my time because I know what's in there and I don't need to make a cutesy label for it because nobody else is going to see inside those boxes. So I'm not going to make labels. I know, crazy, breaking the status quo. But if you feel like you also have to do everything that everyone on YouTube and Instagram is doing, I'm now giving you free license to live your best life and do whatever makes you happy. And not making labels for that right now is making me happy. Okay, so just a little classroom update then. So I haven't fully unpacked everything back here, but it is all organized the way it's going to be. And then I just need to unpack what's back here and put it away. Most of it goes out here. This whole pile of stuff is the things I'm getting rid of. Desks obviously need to be set out. Getting rid of that table, that's why I haven't put all that down yet. A lot of the stuff on my desk is being gotten rid of. My library is going to stay. This whole situation is going to stay. I'm going to change the organization of this bulletin board a little bit, but it's staying like the way it looks aesthetically. I'm going to put white paper up here, and then I'm getting a rain gutter from Home Depot to install along here to showcase books instead of my baskets that were on top. I got these black crates from the teacher who moved, and I'm going to use those for my guided reading. And instead of having this huge shelf, I'm going to get another one of these white shelves and put it over here so I just don't have so much bulky stuff by the door. This shelf will stay with my math games on it again. I have new letters for here. I need to hang up the letters that fell down here. I was going to get rid of my word wall at the end of last year, but since talking to other teachers on my team, I've decided to keep it. So I need to put the uppercase letters on top of this to have a word wall again. This bookshelf actually goes in the corner, so I need to move that. Those crates are for something else. So we've made progress, but there is still so much to do. We are going to do one last thing today, and that's when I was home over the summer. I used the Silhouette that my mom owns to cut out a bunch of letters similar to the, I'll just show you these words up here, which I can't think of right now. So I'm going to fix the ones over my wall work, Hippotastic work wall, and I'm fixing the ones out in the hallway right now. So actually I have my lovely accomplices out there fixing those ones for me while I'm supposed to be putting staples in the stapler. I didn't pack up my desk area very well because the plan was to pretty much redo this whole thing, so I kind of just stuck it all in buckets, and so now I can't find anything. Also, I forgot to turn the lights on. Alright, we finished our last task for today. We were going to put up some other letters, but I can't look at letters and decide if they're straight anymore today. So, this is finished. These letters turned out way bigger than the ones I had last year. So, that's a new fun challenge. But that's fine. Also, no matter how we tried, there is no way to not make the colors line up if you wanted it centered, and I can't stand it when it's not centered. Therefore, the colors are lined up. So that's just how it's going to be. Well, that is all the heat and lack of AC that I can take for today, and also because my brain has not been working all summer, that is the maximum brain function I'm willing to commit to in my classroom right now. Also, the fact that that shelf right there is different than the rest of them still bothers me. So when I get my new shelves, I think I'm going to switch that one out, just as a side note. Anyway, so that's all that we're going to get accomplished for today. I didn't make a to-do list or anything like that other people who are organized do, but you know, such is life, and you don't have to be like everybody else. Just get it done at your own time and your own pace and how you want it to be, and fight your battles, choose which ones are important to you, and just deal with the rest. So that's all I've got for you today. I will be back with many more days of classroom setup, so don't forget don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell because it'll be sporadic because, as you know, coming into your classroom is never super scheduled. So don't forget to do that. And I will see you again next time. See ya.